On this episode of Scamfish, we spoke to Christine from Pennsylvania. She was talking to a guy who claimed he was stationed in Nigeria. She met him on the dating app Mingle 2, and he duped her out of thousands of dollars using another man's pictures. We appreciate all the support, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Hi Christine, we have a great call with you today. You have a 7-month relationship with somebody who ended up being a scammer over in Nigeria, and we're gonna hear about it today.
His name was Davis Porter. Very nice looking, like my kind of guy.
What did he look like? Describe kind of what he looked like. And
military, for one. I come from a military family, so I like military men.
Yeah.
He was young, very handsome, big muscles, like Prince Charming. Yeah, like perfect. That told me what he did, I told him what I did, and the connection started, and it really felt like a true connection.
So were you on guard when he first contacted? Were you on guard being like, what's this guy like want with me? Like,
asked me how old I was, and I told him at that time I was 51, and I was getting ready to turn 52. And I said, how old are you? And he said, 32. And I said, ooh, that's really young. And he said, age is just a number. He said, that doesn't bother me at all. Does it bother you? And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, kind of yes. But when I look at you, I'm like, Of course, I got all these wonderful compliments, how beautiful I was.
And how did that make you feel, like meeting this person and having conversation? Did you hear that a lot in your other relationship?
I didn't hear that a whole lot. And if I did hear it, it didn't really mean a whole lot because they ended up cheating on me or treating me like crap. Or I was married 2 times. My first husband was abusive. I stayed married to him for 7 years because I had 2 children with him. Divorced him and met someone, married him. That was fine. That was a good marriage for 12 years until his mom passed away, and then he turned into an alcoholic. So he was mentally abusive, not physically, but to my kids he was physically abusive, especially my daughter. We had a house, we got rid of the house, we went our separate ways, and I was on my own. To hear somebody like him telling me all these wonderful things, I was like, wow, this is like amazing. I could, this is cool. I like this.
Blew you away, after having this these toxic relationships.
Yeah, blew me away. I'm gonna say we talked probably for a good 2 months, thinking before he asked me for money.
Things are going well. He said all the right things, and then now you're like, is it really worth arguing about something? And then do you even spend more than 2 minutes thinking about it? Because your guards are down. You're not thinking scammer right away.
Really, I'm not at all. He told me that he was a paratrooper and a sniper. Mm-hmm. I said, wow, a sniper. I said, that's kind of sexy there. And he goes, why is that so sexy? Killing people, how can that be sexy? I'm like, nah, I didn't mean it like that. I meant just...
You're a badass.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a turn on.
Right.
And then that kind of went along with his forte, his body, the tattoos, everything. So that's when he asked me, he said, I don't have access to my money. He said, I can show you my account and I'm good for it. He says, but I need you to do me a favor if you can. The military supplies us our food. He says, but if we don't like it, he said, we can go out and get whatever we want at our cost. He said, and we can't have our we can't have our money here. We can't have our debit card or anything because I'm a sniper and I'm supposed to be undercover. I believe that. And I'm like, geez, okay. All right. How am I supposed to send it? He goes, Western Union. He said, are you close to a Western Union? And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay. And I said, do I send it to you? And right away he said, no. He says, you can't send it to me. He says, you have to send it to an agent. You have to send it to my agent, my military agent. Mm-hmm. And I said, now you have me really confused. I said, because military doesn't have agents. I said, my son was just deployed. I said, my son was allowed to have his debit card. My son was allowed to have money. My son was in Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. So I'm not understanding. He goes, well, what branch is your son in, did you say? And I said, you tell me what I told you. He said, you told me the Air Force. And I said, yeah. He goes, I'm Army. It's different. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know any. My brothers were Marines, my son's Army, and my other brother was Navy. So I don't know anything about the Army. So against my better judgment, I sent it.
So after the first $200, what kind of happened like from then on? Did his demeanor change towards you? Did the requests come more often? What were some of the things that he had asked for money for?
He was very grateful, and at that point he told me that he was truly in love with me and he felt a connection with me, and he never wanted to lose me.
So he laid it on thick after that.
Yeah. He needed a phone. He said, because I don't want to lose connection with you. And I said, yeah. So I did. I went to Sprint and I got a phone and I sent it to him. Like every time he would tell me something, I'm like, I have his pictures like plastered all over my room, like everywhere. I have like in my car, they're everywhere, in my locker at work. I'm like, so he would tell me something and I'm like, I look at the picture, I'm like, there's no way he's lying to me.
So Christine, like you have these pictures everywhere. Like what were your friends saying or your family saying?
I really think that everybody knew except for me. And maybe deep down I did know. I just didn't want to admit it because the dude was hot. You know, what can I say? I went home from work September 19th. I'll never forget the day because it was one day before my ex-boyfriend committed suicide. And he said, do you love me? And I said, of course I do. He said, because I want to talk to you. I want to tell you something. And I said, okay. He said, promise me you're not going to get mad. And I said, okay, I won't get mad. He said, I have to tell you the truth. He said, I can't do this anymore. And immediately I was at my mom's house. I drove past my mom's house and I pulled off alongside the road and I just stopped. And he goes, I have so much love for you and I have this deep connection with you. And I know you have that connection too, right? And I said, yeah, absolutely. Why? And he goes, Christine, you need to listen to me. He said, I am Nigerian and I've been scamming you and I am so sorry. He said, I fell in love with you and I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, what are you saying? And I lost it. I felt like somebody kicked me in the stomach and they kept kicking and kicking and kicking. I can't even explain the feeling that I felt. I felt so sick. And he kept saying, I'm sorry. And I said, you know what? I hate you. I said, I hate you for doing this to me. And I hung up. So I went back to my mom's house and I went upstairs, pretended like there was nothing wrong, because they all knew. They're just waiting on the day for me to say something stupid. I just believed him.
Yeah.
I just believed everything. It didn't have. I wanted to prove my family wrong, yes, but I believed him. Like everything that he told me, I just believed it.
Mm-hmm.
And how much money total did you lose?
Probably maybe 7,000.
And how's that impacted your life now?
I'm very cautious now. I have trust issues.
Yeah.
Money's gone, you can't never get it back, but you have to learn. You
Yeah.
know, I don't even get on. I don't have a reason to get on a dating site now. You know, I would never get on a dating site again. And people will probably say never. Yeah, I say never.
And how's your relationship going now?
I am in. If there was ever a perfect relationship, I'm in that perfect relationship.
That's awesome.
He's real. I can see him, and he treats me like a queen. So hard to put words to what you wish, because everybody thinks differently. You know, everybody wants that fairy tale ending, and if you're not meeting that person in real life and you're not talking to them, or you're not seeing them face to face, it's probably should wake up and realize it's probably not true.
Well, Christine, it was really nice talking to you today. You know, there are definitely some vulnerable parts of this interview, and I really appreciate you opening up.
Oh, great.
All right, well, sounds good. It was really nice talking to you today.
Nice talking to you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.